we got Night of Champions predictions
Let's
to
go.
break down.
On at 10
Sarah,
a.m. for me.
oh, it's on at 1 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it. Okay. I'm going to miss like a little bit of it because Reagan work, whatever. Anyways, Chad versus El Grande Americano would be freaking hilarious. All right. Anyways, where do we want to go? Where are we going to start first? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just start with Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, in the King of the Ring finals match. It's been years in the making. Sarah, do you know the last time that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton faced off one-on-one?
I saw a photo of it, but I don't know when it's from. It was it
20
the career, like Cody's career versus Randy? Yeah.
Last time they fought, Cody Rhodes was fired afterwards in 2013. It was Randy was the champion at the time. Cody, Goldust, and Dusty were feuding with the Authority at the time. Wow, what a time
Times
to
have
be a
changed.
wrestling fan. Wow.
Yeah.
Who do we got? Who do we got in this one?
I think the only one that makes sense, honestly, is Cody. Because I think Cody will get his rematch against Cena at SummerSlam. That to me is a match that makes more sense than Randy versus Cena because we already saw that. Like as great as it could be a second time and have like more of a build up than it did the first time because it was like, oh, they're gonna face off against each other in Randy's hometown, and that was basically like the selling point. I do think Cody hasn't gotten his rematch yet, which I know that they don't really do that anymore, but fans remember. And it feels like Cody versus Cena is a SummerSlam main event to me. Because I don't think either one of them are going after Gunther. So I think it's like if either of these guys win because they're both on SmackDown, they'd be going after Cena. But I think people will be more interested in it being Cody.
People will be way more invested, and I mean the way my brain goes, I see Cody, Cena in the main event, and Seth Rollins cashing in on the winner.
Oh, what if Cody wins and he cashes in on Cody?
That's what, like, it doesn't matter who.
Yeah. Well,
I would
that would get him
personally
more heat than him cashing
way
in on
more.
Cena.
No, I think if he cashed in on Cena,
Cena's a heel though.
here's the thing: the Cena cash in, that's what turned Cena back to the good side
Oh yeah, that's
because he lost the title and he let it get away from him. Like there's an evil, a bigger evil. There's gonna be good there. Good needs to help
and
to defeat the bigger evil.
Seth versus Cena or Seth versus Cody fire. I know that we've already seen Seth versus Cody. However, Seth has never beaten Cody. So
exactly.
I would see it if Seth could go over. Because Cody doesn't need it the way that he did when they first, in their trio. So, or in their trilogy, sorry. But yeah. It's
We
Cody.
both got Cody Rhodes. Let me write these
Yes.
predictions down.
Cody Rhodes. Cody
Rhodes.
Oh my gosh,
sorry,
my
mom's
nephew was
sleeping.
so
I'm
upset that
sorry.
Cody won over Jay. He told me he likes Jay more than Cody, and I was like, who are you? What have you become?
He likes Jay more than Cody?
Yeah. I know.
Sara.
Children change their minds like so quickly though. Because he also was like, he's like cheering for Randy. I'm like, what about Cody though? You've loved Cody for years at this point. What are we talking about? What's going on
They're
here?
children are fickle.
Yeah, they are. It's like, who's cool this week? I don't know.
Oh, I'm so excited. And before we transition to the next one, my nephew from California is coming to visit right after the 4th. I want to show him wrestling matches. So anyone in the chat that's got suggestions, and I'm not talking about WWE. You know who I am. We don't cater to just one brand. All right, we cater to the sport. So if you want to,
Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura in an NXT Takeover.
All right, for you, I will have him watch that. I don't know if he would have the attention span for Okada Omega. I would have to gauge that. Maybe start it with WWE. My immediate gut though reaction or thought is to show him Samoa Joe, Chris Daniels, AJ Styles from Unbreakable. Like that is such a mind fuck match. So, and just insane. That just peak TNA at the time. So, anyways, next matchup, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez are going to duke it out in a street fight once and for all to end their feud. Sarah, we know your love and you're such a fan of this feud going on right now. Who do you want to win?
Or who do I think is going to win? I think it's more about that. I mean, there's no reason for this match to really be happening. No one really wins or benefits from the winning or losing. But because it's like we already know that Raquel is going to be partnering now as the women's tag team champions with Raquel. I'm sorry, with Roxanne. So many R's.
There's a lot of R's.
It feels like Rhea's probably winning this.
I'm
They just want to get a pop for Rhea.
I am also have Rhea.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that it's a good match because obviously they worked a lot together in NXT. So, I would like to think that because of their history together, that can bring a good match instead of what people keep talking about, like Raquel. Oh, that match wasn't good. Blah 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 blah. So I hope that it's good. I hope they put on a good street fight, especially because we don't really see that with the women. But yeah, I don't think there's really any benefit to either one of them winning. Like, I think Raquel would be fantastic for her to be Rhea, but it's not for anything. It's just like it's a grudge match. It's not like, oh, she wins the title and so she needs to win. We already know that she's just going to be reforming a new tag team with Roxanne, so it's like that's going to happen regardless of the result. So
yeah, I to me this is to end the back and forth that they've had over the past few weeks within the tournament, costing each other their qualifying matches. This will be a brutal match. I think it
yeah.
will be fun.
Well,
If they just go around the ring and really utilize the arena and make
yeah.
it really, get the fans going with spot after spot. They're both very talented. I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a good match. So
Did you see Rhea's CVV interview and when she talked about the
that's the
names?
one. That's not.
Oh.
I did not listen. No, not you. I'm not mad at you.
No, I
No.
know.
Out of legitimately all the shit that I had to consume this week and podcast wise, that's the one I didn't get to. I listened to his Ask CVV today. So I always love those questions. They're really good, especially drives. You get to think,
Yeah. Well,
so
anyway,
that's on the list.
she talked about names that she had thought about having. Like, she gave WWE a list, and one of them was I forget what the first name was, but she chose Radkey as her last name because of Ronnie. And obviously,
really?
Yeah, because she loved Falling in Reverse at the time.
See, Rhea Ripley and I would be good friends.
Yeah, so I forget what it was. Like, one of them she chose the name Isla, and then there was another one I forget. She says it, and then she said that Matt Bloom chose Rhea Ripley. So, and
Shout
it's
out
all like
Tensai.
the names
Shout out
are
Lloyd
all
Tensai.
they Prince Albert.
Prince Albert.
But yeah, she talked about the names and why she chose those names. So I thought that was kind of cool.
So we both got Rhea.
Yes. I also think her real name would have been good. Her real name is Demi. Like, why wouldn't you go?
Demi would have been good.
Yeah, but maybe she didn't want it. Maybe she didn't want to use it. I don't know.
Did I have it when I was so you know what a Prince Albert is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. Well, innocent high school me did not know what it was.
Oh.
So when I was working at the glorified burger stand in Boston, I was in the kitchen on break from the kitchen, and we're shooting the shit with like the employees, and they were talking about, oh, like, so let me, like, did you get it this weekend? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? He's like, oh, Marty got a Prince Albert.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, oh, like, let me see it, because I didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought it was a Prince Albert action figure. I thought it was Prince. I was like, oh, that's
and they were
sick.
like,
I
bro,
haven't seen
what?
any of those.
Bro,
And
what?
like, and they're like, what can't show you? I'm like, why? Do you not have it in your car or something? Like, what?
Oh my god.
Like,
And this little baby fetus Pat.
Oh, little baby pits, boy pits. All right. Speaking of more women, Jade Cargill taking on Asuka in the Queen of the Ring finals. Sara, what are we thinking?
It has to be Asuka. It has to be Asuka. It has to. Because if we're thinking about SummerSlam and how they kind of want to have it be like a WrestleMania 2.0 or the WrestleMania of the summer, Asuka versus Io is so much better than Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton. Like, the history between Asuka and Io, the type of match that we would get out of Asuka and Io is so much better than Jade versus Tiffany. I get that Jade versus Tiffany could work because of Naomi, but I don't really love the idea of Jade versus Tiffany and Jade winning the title and then being cashed in on. Like, I also think that if we want to believe that a cash in is coming at SummerSlam on Cena, I don't want the same thing to happen with the women. Like, that's boring, you know? So I think Asuka versus Io is too much of a banger potential match to pass on that.
I totally agree with you there. Like, it's just yield to redundancy, as they say. I'm gonna go with Io. You need to do this.
You mean
match.
Asuka?
Fuck.
Io is the champ.
Yeah, because that's where my mind is. That I want to see Io and Asuka at SummerSlam. That is the match that needs to happen.
I wish they would bring SummerSlam back to LA.
Why?
Because I loved when they had a 5-year contract with the Staples Center. And so they had LA, SummerSlams for 5 years. And because when you think of summer, you think of the beach, you think of California. When you think of summer, you don't think of Cleveland. You don't think of Detroit. You don't think of Boston. So
I disagree on the Boston thing.
you think of Boston because you're there.
No, when summer, warm seafood.
No, I'm telling you right now, when you first ask
Cape.
someone, what is this? No, when majority of people are going to say they think of like California or Florida. That's what they're going to say.
All right, fair. All right, I'll give you that. But
Boston. No one's like, you know what? I want a summer vacation. I'm going to go to Boston. No one says that.
Yes, yeah, you're because it's not Boston. They're like, oh, I'm going to the Cape, and that's an hour from Boston.
The only people who say I'm going to the Cape are people who live in Massachusetts.
The Cape's a fucking.
Jackson says, I think Naomi cashes in at SummerSlam, but I don't see Seth cashing in at SummerSlam because both cash-ins are in the same night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Seth makes more sense than Nate. Like, I think that the match potential between Asuka and Io is too big to pass on in favor of Jade versus Tiffany.
See, that's why I'm worried. And I want to use my WWE brain and say Jade.
But like, what has Jade done to have that spot right now? You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
But also, how does it help her to beat Tiffany and then get cashed in on immediately? Like, I don't know how that really does anything for her other than then being in a story with Naomi. But then we're saying, okay, how long are her and Naomi going to feud? Because it's not like Naomi is going to be a placeholder champion. There's a reason she's a Money in the Bank winner, and she should have the women's championship for a while. So it's like, I would assume that she would have a feud with Jade that ends in her retaining the title the entire time. So what does that do for Jade? Nothing really. Nothing. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to take the title off Tiffany soon because they clearly don't know what they're doing with her.
No, you got to she has to still be champion.
Well, no, but I'm saying I don't think it should be Jade that does it right now just because of her, the proximity to Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi and Jade, Naomi's still doing this I'm obsessed with Jade thing, even though she is Miss Money in the Bank. So it would feel forced. I heard John Alba today on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy pod say that he thinks if Jade winning would build to a Naomi, Bianca, Jade triple threat for the title. I don't hate that idea if it's done well. I wouldn't hate the idea if they really can continue what they were doing already with it before it got kind of stale. However, the idea of Io Sky versus Asuka for a title is
And
It's too good to pass up.
Jackson makes a fair point that both King and Queen of the Ring maybe shouldn't be on Raw or SmackDown.
Exactly.
But I think last year they were both on Raw.
No, Nia was
Oh,
SmackDown.
SmackDown, that's right. No, was she on Raw at the time?
No, because she had Tiffy. Tiffy was on SmackDown.
Oh, okay. So then never mind. Yeah. So then to me, that's Asuka. Again, like I said, other than the fact that they're on opposite shows from Randy and Cody, I still think, I don't know, Asuka versus Io is like, that could almost main event night one of SummerSlam.
It could. No,
Yeah.
it could. We'll end with the
We're not
unseen
done yet.
17.
We
I
haven't
said
even
we'll
talked.
end. I said we'll end
Oh,
with the never
got,
seen 17.
got it.
I want to talk about this first. Sarah, Karrion Kross taking on Sami Zayn. Late addition to the card, feels like it was added due to Dominic versus AJ being taken off the card due to Dom's injury. I'm so happy for this match happening for the sheer fact that Karrion Kross is on a PLE.
I don't think that this is kind of a similar match to me as like the street fight. I don't feel like there's a real benefit to either one of these guys winning because Karrion just got punched in the face by Sami on Raw and he made it into a good thing, you know? So I feel like if Karrion lost, it wouldn't be considered a bad thing. But I do think it would be good for Karrion to get a win because if they are going to try to explore this like darker side of Sami, I think they need to have another catalyst to get him there. And that the easiest way to do that is to embarrass him in Saudi by losing to Karrion Kross. I don't know that I'm into that. I think that's a good way to get Karrion more over. And it also is the best way to set up a prolonged story between them. And, you know, they can explore this different side of Sami and it makes sense more than just like, oh, I'm mad at what Karrion's saying to me. It's like, no, now he'll have a moment to be like, okay, that was embarrassing, or I'm pissed that you did this, whatever. Like that would make more sense.
I see this being the catalyst of the Sami Zayn spiral. This is where we're finally going to see a darker side of Sami Zayn. It needs to happen. And Kross winning, that's obvious, but it doesn't end there. We're not going to see the end of this after Night of Champions. This is going to continue. Everyone has been clamoring. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's been clamoring for Karrion Kross to get on television. And, you know, this is his time. He finally has a feud where it's possible and it's interesting. It's enticing. I like it. So I want to see Kross win.
You forgot one match, by the way.
Who?
Solo Jacob.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I also think that Sami is the type of dude that would want to help a guy like Karrion. So it feels like he would be willing to like do whatever to help Karrion get over if he needed to. And I think, yeah, like all I meant was like whoever wins, that it doesn't necessarily benefit them. The only reason I say that is because there's no title in here. It's like it's just a result of backstage arguments. You know what I mean? So it's like the story isn't super deep yet. So that's why I was saying it doesn't really matter. But I do think that obviously it helps Karrion and it would help set up the story for Sami to explore that other side of him. So it could come to a head at Saturday night's main event, or if they could push it out till SummerSlam. So
you got Kross?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kross.
Right now we're the same. So we have the same predictions.
Okay. What about Solo and Jacob?
Do you want to have a banner for that? Did you put a banner up or
no? We don't have to. But Jacob's retaining.
That's why. Like, I just don't like. To me, this is a meh match. I'm not as invested with the Bloodline story right now. I'm invested with Jacob for 2.
Well, it goes back to what I said earlier. A big reason why the Bloodline story is not working in 2025 is because of everything that has been happening without Roman over the past year. The thing that I don't get is I don't know what they're trying to do. with Solo. I don't know what they're trying to do with Jeff Cobb because that dude gets no pop
JC
whatsoever.
Mateo.
We don't care. We don't acknowledge that right now. But they need to do better by them because they were going on such a good in such a good direction with Solo. Like the little funny things that he was doing and stuff like that was getting him over. And so why are they not trying to continue that? Why are they not trying to make Jeff Cobb into this like dominating monster the way that they did with Bronson Reed, what they did with Jacob Fatu? Like they really need to figure this out because the bloodline thing is not working, especially when they've already dropped Solo being the tribal chief. Like, why are we still trying to continue it? I don't really understand.
I don't either.
Also,
I
I'll be
just
so mad if they come out with like an "I hate you" Solo shirt. If
oh,
they
I would
ever do
buy
that,
that.
I would be so mad.
I would buy that so fast.
I want the "I love you" Solo shirt. It's a missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity.
Jackson has Solo winning. So
Well,
does Nathaniel. I don't because I don't know. I just feel like they want to. I think it would be really good for Solo to win. But I don't really have any belief in them doing anything right for Solo. So, and that's my guy.
That is your guy.
Yeah.
John Cena versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. SmackDown has already happened, so their interaction was happened already. Who do we got in this match?
Cena's retaining.
Yep, there we go.
It's that simple. Cena has to be champion for SummerSlam. They're not moving CM Punk to SmackDown. This is just another thing that they're doing like they did with Randy and R-Truth and whatever. It's just another like nostalgic match for us, but the story does not end. Oh, I can't pronounce your name and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to say it incorrectly, but he believes that Punk is going to win and that Seth cashes in. I don't hate that only because it being Punk. And so it makes sense for Seth and Punk. However, because Roman is probably returning, I feel like they're going to wait for Seth to cash in.
Yeah, I see. Do you see, or I have a question. Do you see any nonsense interference happening in this match?
Well, there's rumors that Hikuleo is in Saudi. So if that is true.
Cena.
Sorry, wrong match. I was still stuck on Bloodline.
No worries.
No, because I don't really know. No one's going to come to Cena's aid. And why would anyone want to come out and help Punk? You know what I mean? Like, he's not that cool with anyone, really. Like, that they would be like, oh, I want to go out and help you win the title. You know, it's not in the same way that people wanted to come and help Cody against Roman. Well, Roman had been wreaking havoc over the roster for almost 4 years as champion. So it's like we're not at that level yet. So I don't think there's going to be, I mean, if any nonsense, it's going to be Cena like using the title to like hit Punk again or something. But I don't see anything happening. The Hikuleo thing, sorry, I meant to mention that when we were talking about Solo and Jacob, and we could see that, but yeah. I was reading comments, and so my brain went elsewhere.
I see Hikuleo. Going back to that, I could see an
Hikuleo comes and takes out Cena for Punk. No, just kidding. You want some nonsense? Hikuleo is here on behalf of CM Punk. Okay.
All right, so we're basically the same for everything. I am going to say, so we have a tiebreaker. I say that someone comes out for Cena, and it's Miz.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Why?
Fuck the Miz.
Sarah, why? Because
yeah. I just have to tell you that scared the shit out of me. Like, oh my god. Woo!
Content's gonna be scary sometimes, but to get through, you got to get through scary things to get to fun things. So, okay.